All right, are you ready? Are you ready for this one? Hashem, I've been waiting for this since last night. Like, I'm so excited for this. What are you excited for? What is it exactly you're excited for? All right, so how do I explain this? Hashem, help me find the words for this because this was too awesome. Start off, and the Lord said to Derek, start off slow. You're really excited. Breathe first. Why don't you start off by welcoming the newest members of the toxic family? Okay. So last night, so over these past couple days, right? We've been reconnecting with my ex-wife, and another lady friend. There was Miss Kim. Today I was thinking about Mr. Shira Yashira. Hey man, how you doing?
How's it going?
Excited.
Yeah. She don't even know what she wants.
It's alright, I got Jedi reflexes.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I was thinking of Miss Shira Rodriguez. She was another lady friend of mine. I've only had a couple of lady friends, but Miss Kim and Mr. Shira, they were probably like the most. I had the most female interaction with those two than anyone else. That's for my mom. Now, what was it? I got distracted by the dog. What was it? Oh, so last night I was working through the next portion of prior analytics, and what I don't even know what it was about it. I just thought it was just getting to like some fucking heavy shit with syllogistic thought. And it triggered something in me where I started getting all these flashbacks to my old life, to Saratoga Derek, who was when I was married. How you doing, my dear? That was before I moved down here when I was still living in Toms River. But I still had my condo. I say, come on. I say Saratoga Derek because Saratoga was the condo association. But I started getting all these memories that were coming back, like things I haven't thought about in a long time. Neighbors, nicknames for neighbors, interactions with neighbors, things that happened in my house, and like not all of it was good. Some of it was like, oh fuck. Some of it was like, I think specifically what was coming up was, it was right around the time when Red Dead Redemption came out, which I think was around 2012 or 2013. I don't know if I was married yet. I don't know. But I remember that my wife and her whole family, they were all going down to North Carolina for the niece's wedding. And I didn't go. I didn't have to go. The one thing I loved about my marriage is I wasn't obligated to do anything that I didn't want to do. And a lot of times there would be family things that I didn't want to be a part of. I needed to be alone. I needed to have alone time. It's just it's just the way I am. I can't be around people for too long. I can't even be around my own family, let alone other people's families. So it's just and back then, I didn't really give a shit about anything. I didn't give a fuck about her family. I mean, I did and I didn't. It was. I don't want to say that I didn't give a fuck about anybody. It was more that I just need to be alone with myself and my booze and my video games. That's all I wanted. Just leave me the fuck alone. Because you know the comfort that comes along, when you're married, and you have a child, you don't have any time to yourself. I mean, you make what you can. I'm not saying I didn't, but it's not. When I say you don't have time to yourself, you don't have time by yourself. You don't have time alone. There's no alone time. After my wife and my son moved out, I had the house to myself for 3 months. Oh my god. It was the most fun. It was like a sleepover. It was like a sleepover party every night, just by myself. Because at that point, she moved out on May 7th of 2018, right? I had a friend of mine. Oh, that's right. Well, no, I had the fucking house for 4 months. My biggest regret was having somebody move in. That's when I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I can't deal with this shit. I can't fucking live with people. Especially fucking people that aren't doing anything. People that aren't working. This lady, because she fucking moves in, she made the fucking house her own, which I told her to do. But I also said, hey, when you move in, you start working, this way you can start paying. This isn't a fucking free ride. She wasn't doing anything. She started off doing things, but then she started doing less, started not doing things. And then her kids started doing things that I said not to do. And even that's when I got into that big fight with my wife at the time. Well, that's when I almost clocked her, is what happened. Clocked her. I balled up my fist because I was going to punch her in the face. Because I wanted to punch her in the face really bad. And then I caught myself. I'm like, might be a good time. I think this is a sign. Come on, I think this is a sign that it's not gonna work. I'm gonna get annoyed in a second. I'm trying to play this song for all the Perdicle Derricks that are now part of the club. So last night I had this flood of memories that came through, and I started remembering my life, the way it was, and it was just so weird seeing where I'm in my sister's spare room. There was a point in time when I had my life, that my sister was still living in that room. She belongs in that fucking room, not me. Jeez. So once that started playing through, once I started remembering and writing down all these memories that were coming through to me, I started going back even further to before we moved into the condo when we were still living in the apartment, and even memories from them was coming through. And when I'm saying you know what I mean. I'm having to relive and feel those feelings again, and it was tough because I'm trying to remember the place where I was at. I'm trying to get back into that mind frame of where I was, so I could empathize and reconnect with those older aspects of myself. It wasn't easy. Well, I fucking pulled it off. So I think I went to take a break, and I started up on the next portion of prior analytics, and I don't know, just something about what Aristotle had said about how syllogism can be used to determine things that belong and things that necessarily belong, as well as things that don't belong and necessarily don't belong, because there's a difference between that which belongs and that which does not and that which necessarily belongs, right? So things can belong. Like what's a good example? Shem, what's a good example? Like something that belongs out of necessity. Like it doesn't. Like there's no other way around it. Like it has to have been that way. It has to be that way. All right. So like these rocks, right? They all belong, and to a degree, like this rock right here, it belongs right there. This rock belongs right there. Now I can move it. I can move this one here and this one here, or this one over here and that one over there. We can move all these things around. But now me, I belong necessarily. You know what? That's another way of putting it. It's like I belong right here, right now. But in general, God, that's like so tough. Belonging of necessity. Belonging of necessity. Part of me wants to say fuck it. Don't even worry about it right now. You'll get to it. It'll make sense. You laid the premise out. Now just let it prove itself. I know, but right. The memories, they popped up. The memories started coming up. Now, I also come from that school of thought that like everything happens for a reason. Thank you, Hashem. So it wasn't. There's no coincidence that those memories just were popping up. There was something I needed to take away from them, and there was something I needed to give back to them. So after I took my break, I came back and I saw that portion of prior analytics, and I realized I have to. While these old versions of myself are fresh in my mind, I have to go back and I have to figure out what's the connection. Like, what is it that connects me and them? And then, oh man, it was so cool. And then this quote from The Five Rings popped in my head. Miyamoto Musashi, he popped in my head. The teacher is the needle. The discipline is the thread. I just read that the other day. It sounds cool. It sounds really cool, but it gets even cooler when I take into consideration that today's the third quarter moon, right? Today's third quarter moon in Taurus. So 3 weeks ago was a new moon in Cancer. 4 weeks prior to that, so 7 weeks ago from today, 7 lunar weeks, was the new moon in Gemini. On the new moon in Gemini, a friend of mine did a past life regression on me, with me. And at the end of the session, like it was awesome. It was a great session. I mean, she was talking a lot and she kept on like talking over like the things. I'm trying to focus on what's going on. She keeps on talking. And a couple times I just wanted to be like, shut the fuck up so I can fucking enjoy, so I can see this. I'm trying to see something. You keep on asking me questions. But I got everything I needed to get out of it without having to like lose my shit. at the end of the session, I was shown 2 threads, one black and one gold. They were revealed to me as Torah threads. The black one was my mother, my Y chromosome or my X chromosome thread, and then the gold one was my Y chromosome thread. Those are my Torah threads. My masculine and feminine Torah, my mommy and daddy Torah. So, I didn't even thought about that. Well, yeah, that's how we did it. That's how we did it. The mommy receives it, and then the daddy pulls it. Yeah, trust me, like you totally got it. It's dope as fuck. That's what's happening. Like, how did you get to this point? Oh, okay, so and I know this is what I was trying to explain to you last night, is like where you guys were from, 2005, 2007, 2008. Remember when I was saying like the shit that I'm doing right now is literally, it's impossible for you to even understand. The only way that you can understand it is for you to have experienced the entire lifeline that I went through since being you up to me. Does that make sense? It's like necessity, things that things that exist out of necessity and things that just exist, right? So any one of these fucking people, right? Look, see behind the trees, there's cars driving. There's a school over here. What? Hold on, this car. This is a great example. Watch. All right, see this guy driving by? That person, they just exist. There's no point to them, except for to be made an example of right now. So they're just fodder. They're just fuel for the fire. Now, you and me, on the other hand, because I'm talking to, who am I talking to? I'm talking to you, predicable Derek. I'm talking to my past self. You and I, we exist out of necessity. I exist because you existed. But you exist because I exist. You existed because I exist. I couldn't be where I'm at without you. You wouldn't be able to be here right now without me. Because otherwise you'd still be stuck in the fucking past. And that's what was happening last night is, and this happens from time to time. This isn't my first rodeo. What happened last night has been happening for the past several years. Is there's traumatic times in life where, we'll call them soul fragments, soul shards, right? You get stuck. You get stuck in the past. It's like Groundhog's Day, right? You get stuck in Groundhog's Day. You don't know. You don't know it. You just live the same life over and over and over and over, the same fucking day. What the fuck? You might not even notice it. I don't know. I don't know if you can have as much fun as you can in the movies. Like, I don't know what that's like. But while you are reliving that same day, that same time frame of life over and over again, I'm here in the future trying to do my shit. Now, once in a while, I come across an experience, a piece of information, just something that offhandedly reminds me of something from the past. Or someone from the past pops up, and it reminds me of something I haven't thought about in a while. Now, if you watch the fucking videos from yesterday, I go on about how Chris Modu popped up out of the fucking blue. But it wasn't out of the fucking blue because of everything we were doing up until that point. So he popped up, what's today? He popped up Friday night, right? So yesterday's videos were all about everything that got triggered up because of him popping up. Now, prior to me noticing that he popped up, prior to seeing his friend request, I had been doing 2 of these videos on Thursday night, talking to April, getting shit off my chest, right? You know you're divorced, right? Yeah, we got that from last night. All right, good. You're all caught up to speed on on everything. Is there anything that you got questions on? No, you're pretty much caught up. How long have I been here? Oh man. Oh God, this feels like a prison sentence, to be perfectly honest. Going on 6 years in October. So we're going on 5.5 years. Where are you at? Are you still at Impact? Shit. Did you meet One Stop? Did you meet One Stop, Derek, yet? Yeah. Oh, I can see you all. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so now that we have all of us back together again, I feel like we just reunited a fucking team. Oh my God, that feels so good. Why? Because one, I haven't been you since 2005, 2008, you, 2012, you. This is did you get to the part where I read Dianetics? Oh, well, I read the first book of Dianetics. All right, so you're all caught up there. So you're like pretty much all caught up with everything. That's fast. That's doing a lot while you were sleeping. Okay. All right. All right. And even Ellen, Derek? WRAT Derek's? You guys are all caught up? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, all while I was fucking sleeping? I was sleeping for fucking 6 hours. You caught up on 37 fucking, you caught up on fucking, how long has it been? For you, it's been like almost 20 years. For you, 15? 14. For you, 8? Man. You know, it's funny how big of a difference 8 years makes, yeah? 8 years ago, this wasn't even a fucking... This wasn't even a fucking a wet dream. Yeah, but fucking 8 years, that's a long ass fucking time. Do you know that? That's an incredibly long time. Hi, this is me having a conversation with my past selves. Go fuck yourself. We don't give a shit. So now what I can't, Hashem, I don't know, like what can we do? What can we do? What can't we do? All right, so now that we have established like several different points in the past, so obviously I'm the Messiah Derek of all the past Dereks. So which literally confirms, thank you Hashem, you literally just confirmed for me that I am the most shocked, which makes me king of the Jews. So I am king of the Jews. And what I learned the other night from Ben Shapiro is that there's nothing illegal in Jewish laws about acknowledging yourself as a Jewish king. All right, king of the Jews. Go fuck yourself. Now, does it matter that I don't have a queen? Because I was watching this lady that I've been following for like the past year, Nilly Salem. She looks like Joanne. She looks like a hot Jewish version of Joanne. It's so weird. Joanne, my ex-mother-in-law. Attractive. She looks like an attractive version of my ex-mother-in-law, Joanne. You gotta refine it. That's what I'm saying. And she was talking about relationships. And this I figured like we might as well get on this because this has been the theme for the past couple days. And since I have you guys here, and you guys are all caught up. You guys are all caught up. That's fucking amazing. I feel like there's more to it though. Like I feel like you're caught up. Well, we have a whole week. We have a whole week together before the next new moon. The birthday's in like 2 weeks, dude. This is gonna be like the fucking best birthday ever. Oh, and then, you already know. I don't know what to be excited for then. Like, I'm all excited that we're all caught up, but Everything I say, you already know. I know. Because we're supposed to take it seriously. Well, is this not being serious? I don't understand what you want. And who the fuck are you to fucking judge me? Do you have any idea what I've been through? Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because you were watching everything last night while I was sleeping. So what does that mean for me? The monkey boy who does things? Go fuck yourself. Fucking dare you. And you know what? No, not fuck you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because you know what? Without me, then you wouldn't be able to get shit done. How about that? And that goes for you too, Hashem. If you don't like it, go fucking find someone else. I ain't gonna take that kind of disrespect from myself. I ain't taking that shit from fucking nobody. And I sure shit ain't taking it from my fucking self. Especially my past self, who, by the way, you've been sitting there patiently waiting for me. Okay. Okay, bud. Why don't you, hopefully, and maybe while you were sitting there in the past, waiting for me to catch you up to speed, maybe hopefully you figured out a way to get the fuck out of this house and into, like, our own house. You figured out how to get the house back? Huh? I've been over here fucking doing all the things for fucking the rabbis and the Jews and God. I've been the one who's got to fucking deal with Debbie all day. I got to deal with Chris and Mike. I got to fucking deal with having fucking 54 cents in my bank account. Did you figure out how to put money in my bank account? Nigga, you paying my bills? I don't have any fucking bills anymore because I don't have any money. You know how badly I want a fucking bill? I want to pay a bill so fucking bad. Yeah, what bill do I want? You want to know what bill I want to pay? How about that? You know, while you were off in La La Land, off in the past, I've been here fucking trying to develop a fucking business. So how about that for a fucking bill? My most favorite bill. How about you get me fucking $75 so we can pay my fucking annual report? How about $13 fucking $75 so I can get a pack of cigarettes? $42.99 so I can go to the goddamn buffet. What else? What else? I can use some new shoes and some socks. Some clothes. Oh, I'd love to go to Hugo Boss. As a matter of fact, how about a fucking nice Hugo Boss suit? How about we go to fucking Brothers Store and get a nice fucking suit? 60 off. How about that? Don't be fucking coming over up in here, be like, oh, you're the fucking monkey who's gonna do all the stuff. Nigga, have some fucking respect. The fuck? Would you let me talk to you that way? You're talking to yourself that way. Does everyone feel better? You feel better getting that out of your system? Feel better? I feel like the past, present, and future Derek are like the fucking Three Stooges. Jeez Louise. Predicable Derek, Primary Derek, and Derek Moshiach. The Three Stooges. Oh, you don't like that one? You didn't like that one. That's offensive to you. You can make fun of me, but as soon as I fucking dish it back, you get all fucking bent out of shape, of course. That's typical. That's fucking typical. Oh my God. So what, Hashem, what do I do with these fucking guys? You made them. Okay. Alright, no, that's actually great. Because you know what? I can use some help. How do we work this? This feels like it's a superpower. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm glad we're having this conversation because thank you, Hashem, for reminding me. In the latest portion of 5 Rings, we're getting on about the Ichi school of strategy, which is the school of 2 swords. So now earlier in the book, Miyamoto he gets into how one, how a warrior who is going to be trained in the art of the sword fencing should also be trained in the art of the pen. It's perfect. Now, last night's section, we didn't write through it yet. We're going to do that today. But last night's section, what I like to do is I like to do a preliminary read through of each portion. This way, when we start to write it, when we write it out, we've at least had time to process it, but then we can also make more deep connections. It's taken a long ass time. It's going to take maybe a month or two to get through this whole fucking book. It's only fucking 50 pages. It's going to take us about a month or two to get through the book. Now, keep in mind, with Aristotle, too, prior analytics, when did we start that? I don't know, dude. Like, I think we started it almost a month ago. And we're only on chapter 6. There's 46 chapters in this motherfucker. So we're going to be at this for a while. It took me 3 months to get through categories. Categories was only 12 chapters long. 3 months to get through categories, and then 2 months to get through on interpretation. Now this is already a month, but that's the point. That's the point. We're not rushing through. We ain't got shit to rush for. We ain't got shit to rush for. Ain't nobody fucking banging on the door. Ain't nobody fucking throwing money at us. And we don't have to fucking chase shit because Hashem's got everything covered. You're new to this whole game with Hashem. Who is Hashem? Hashem is God. When did I become a God lover? You know what? You're right. It started in 2018. So if we can roll back the clock to 2018, back when we were working at vending trucks, you'll look at that one particular day. Let's scroll it back. Let's bring it back. Bring it back. Right there. This was around October, November of 2017, as a matter of fact. I'm sorry. Remember, I'm going to bring this one to your memory, and I know it'll come to you. We looked up, we were in the office at vending trucks, and I looked up and said, God, I know we've had a troubled past, but, and this for all the devil Derricks and toxic Derricks too. I want you to come and see this. I ain't ashamed of this. We looked up, we said, God, I know we had a troubled past, but if you give me a reason to believe, I'm all yours. I can't do this shit no more. And then that's when everything just kind of took off on its own. And it's been developing ever since. Now you obviously know about the witchcraft. You know about the goddess, the same he, she, right? You all caught up on all that bullshit? It's not bullshit, but you know what I mean. We all caught up on that. Okay, this is fucking great. This is amazing. So are we clear? Like clear of aberrations. Oh my God, we're gonna be clear. Without having to fucing pay a dime to Scientology, we became a clear. Oh my God, I love it. I fucking love it. We married Dianetics with Judaism and Hellenist Judaism. And now we're marrying Judaism with Kensei philosophy. Oh my God, I fucking love this. Hashem. God damn it. God, what benefit would there be to be dating me? Like, what benefit is there for a woman to date me? Will never date a man like me ever again. Now, Hashem, are you even into dating, or like, do you want to like hop right into marriage? Long term, short term? I'm long term. That's my plan. My goal, my intention was long term. You know? And what the hell are we gonna waste the time with short term shit for? Ain't my fucking bag. Yeah. You literally, by the way, Who the fuck are you to talk? You just literally got divorced. I've been divorced for almost 6 years. I have not been with a woman in probably like 7 or 8. The last time I had sex was when my wife, when April raped me. Yeah, I was high. And she pushed me. Wasn't engaging. I mean, it worked. Of course it worked. All right. It wasn't mutual. I'm telling you that. Because I was watching her. She wasn't having sex with me. She was just, I don't even know where the hell she was. That was like the most depressing sex of my life. That was the worst sex I ever had. I actually have you want to talk about an aberration? There we go. Let's get that guy. Let's get that Derek. The one that one who is like depressed, having depressed sex. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But it had to happen like that. Otherwise you wouldn't have known, you know? Good. And, oh, you want to cry? Do you want to cry about it? You can cry about it. I don't want to cry about it. You tell me this bitch is leaving? Yeah. Yeah, they both are. Can they hear you? No. Well, maybe. I don't know if they're watching this. I don't know. Sometimes she watches these things from what I heard. I don't know for sure, though. I don't know who the fuck watches these things. Sometimes I see views on them. Sometimes I don't. I don't really pay attention to that shit. I mean, I do when I upload them because it shows the stats, so I don't really have a choice. And I do get curious. I'm like, I wonder if people watch this shit. There's like 2 hours of me just fucking talking. Like, what the fuck? Now, why we do it? Oh, bro. This like fucking this is therapy plus. This is a whole new school of fucking therapy. Well, the intention is what my original intention, especially when I started writing, was by writing my own experiences that it would eventually go on to help people in the future that needed some kind of confirmation, just needed to see somebody else going through it. You know what I mean? But as we have progressed over, I mean, even after we started, I think that was the first fucking page. I wrote that on the first page. And who's Kim? We're getting into this again. Okay, so Kim doesn't exist anymore. She's alive, but yeah. Well, I don't know. Oh, with her? No. No, she's got to be the one that comes. I don't chase after that little thing anymore. She's got to come chasing daddy this time because I don't chase her for. And literally her, she's got to like pledge, like undying fealty. Like she would have to quit her job. She'd have to move out of her mother's house. She'd probably have to sign her house over to me. Like she would literally have to become like pledged on her hands and knees, begging to be like my servant, my slave. And then do I want to marry my slave girl? Because that's a secretary. Well, you know what's funny? I was actually just watching. I was just reading American Psycho last night. Yeah, again. Well, think of it like this. You couldn't finish it because you didn't have the attention span to. Not that that's a bad thing, because you had a lot of shit on your mind. And well, if you notice, I'm fucking reading 4 books right now. How do you think I'm doing that? Going back to what was in the 5 Rings last night. What was in 5 Rings last night? So the portion that I pre-read is called the School of Ichi, the Ichi School of Strategy, the School of Two Swords. So what he's teaching, what Miyamoto is teaching, because you gotta keep in mind, this guy's a fucking samurai master. He's a kensei. He's a sword saint. This nigga knows his shit. Undefeated. But you defeat one man, you have the spirit to defeat all men. Defeating one man is just as easy as defeating 10,000 different men. Once you know what victory feels like, what it tastes like, you don't lose ever again. Different face, different schools, but it's all the same thing. This is just another guy who's training me to get better. They ain't nothing. This guy's just another snack. So what the school of two swords, what the philosophy of two swords is teaching is don't waste your time with two hands on one sword. It's not proficient. You're gonna lose agility. You're not gonna have as much reach. Now, mind you, you might have a little more power, but that power is gonna take away from dexterity. It's gonna take away from your agility. So what you're better off doing is having two swords, one in each hand, because each warrior is technically trained to have two swords. Now, mind you, it depends on the weapon that you're using. If you're using a spear or a halberd or something like that, of course you want to put two hands on it. But if you're learning the art of sword play, of sword fencing, then what you want to focus on is use two at one time. And now he says, he even goes on. He goes straight up on this. He's like, yo, it's gonna be hard. It ain't easy. But that's the point. You don't want it to be easy, because the more that you train yourself to use two swords at once you become proficient at two swords at once, that's it. That's it. You did it. But you have to be willing to do the hard shit. Now, at the time of reading, it got me thinking like, oh shit, okay, well that makes sense. We're using I got the 5 rings on one hand, I got prior analytics on the other. But then it dawned on me like, oh shit, we're still also working on the gate of trust. So now how does that work? I only got 2 hands, hypothetically. Now if we think of someone if we go to the Hindu gods, who's got all the fucking arms? Hashem. Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita. You should read Bhagavad Gita. Okay, well that's good. I do have it on my phone. I do have it. Oh, give that the same treat. Really? You can do that. I didn't even thought of that. That's a fucking great idea. Get to know Krishna. Baby. Happening. Thank you, Hashem. So I have this idea. So since we have so many Dereks right now, and Derek loves to work, I'm gonna put your asses to work. I want to know how do we do this? Because I know you're gonna be running in the background. So how can I devote one of you? Can I have one of you? Because you don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't do anything. You don't have to do anything. I'm the one who's doing the stuff. Remember, I'm the monkey who does the things? Yeah, I'm the monkey that does the things out here so that you guys can do all the things inside. Yeah, like cognitive processes. Oh, dude, this is like some next level shit there's no science for this. Yeah, all right, so what I need, oh my God, can we get it, I need one of you to find out if there's like a female version of me. Like a clone, but in a female body. That would be hot. We also need to do some training. We need to do some intensive marriage coupling training. So Rabbi Manus Friedman, he brought up a good point. He's like, when you're getting with somebody, it's not about what you can get out of it from them. It's not about sex. It's not about this. It's not about that. Those are all bonuses. What can I do to make your life better? Like, what do you need? What do you need? Do you need someone to listen? Do you need someone just to hold you? Do you need someone to tuck you in at night? Do you need someone to cuddle with you? Do you need someone to give you a sponge bath? Like, do you need someone to make your dinner? Do you need someone to fucking roll your joints for you and pour your wine? This way when you get home from work, you just sit, enjoy the wine, smoke your joint, get your feet rubbed. Get your kitty pet. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, is that what you need? Like, what do you need from someone? Someone just to listen? Do you need advice? Or you just need someone to listen? And just let you vent. Just sit there while you're in the tub. While you're sitting, while you got the bath on, right? We draw the bath for you, bubble bath, and then while you're sitting in the bubble bath, just sit there and listen to you just vent out your day. Is that what you need? You need someone to make you on leaving bread? And pet you like a good kitty cat? Put you in your jammies and then tuck you in? God, I love that idea. Do you? Me too. I know. Well, you never met Kim. Kim's like fire. But she's like an unkosher woman. Like, I don't know about her. But she's a good template. She's a good template. Thank you, Hashem. I never even thought about that before. It's not really Tim that we're seeing. It's a Kim template. Oh. Okay. And then we can like fill her in with like all other type of stuff. Oh. Oh, hello. Well, one of the ladies I follow on YouTube is Miss LX, and she looks exactly like Miss Kim. But not Miss Kim. Definitely not Miss Kim. Miss Kim could probably use Miss LX, but then again, I don't know, unless Hashem, unless you're replacing. And that's another thing that we should get money for. Please, can we do that? Can someone get on that with the money? Who wants to be in charge of money? Who wants to be master of coin? Hashem. That's a good question. Alright, well, I need money ideas, at least, yeah? Because it comes from somewhere. Hashem, unless you're gonna fucking drop a fucking bag of gold at my goddamn feet and I can go get all the stuff. I would love a fucking calzone right now. Or, you know what I would really love? Do you want to know what I would really love? The fucking buffet. That would make my life I would be so happy. If we can go to the buffet, go to the goddamn dispensary, get a couple pens. Oh my God, I feel like we would fucking kill it with some pens. Just 2. They'll last us like a month. Technically, sort of, possibly. Depends how barely we fucking work them shits. Well, the last ones I had, I got 2 pens for like $50 each. That was $100. Well, here's the thing too. You want to talk about money and savings? Is 2 pens, $50 each. That's $100. But now those 100 milliliter pens. Okay, 100 milliliter pens or milligrams. Technically speaking, we should be able to get 4 weeks out of them. But once I have a pen, I'm like a fucking animal with it. Now, I'm good at restraint. I'm good at self-restraint. Thank you, Shem. So we don't even smoke them until at least 1:30. It's got to be in the afternoon. And then I prefer, see, because this was my sketch. Before we moved on to the pens, I was using gummies. But the gummies, cost-effective wise, it's more effective. It's more cost-effective to deal with pens than it is gummies. And here's why. 1 pack of gummies. When they're not on sale. Sometimes they're on sale, but the fuck knows when that happens, yeah? 1 pack of gummies is $35. Now, my roll's paying tax on that, too. Plus, I gotta take a fucking lift over there. So I get what do I normally get? 2 packs of gummies? Yeah, I usually get 2 packs of gummies, right? There's 10 gummies per package for $35. So I get 2 because I take 2 gummies a day. They're light. They're only 10 milligram. So we take one at 1:30. Then we take another one at between 6 and 6 or 6:30 and 7:30. And then we're good all day. Like, yo, we're fucking banging out work left and right. When we get back, when we start doing the year in review, when we do the 12 weeks or the 13 days of review this year, it was only in a couple weeks. Once we get to that, yo. The year starts at Rosh Hashanah. Once we go through the first couple months, we didn't start introducing marijuana back into the equation until maybe November, I think. The end of October, beginning of November. And then we only stopped two and a half months ago. So up until that point, we were fucking cramming shit, banging, crunching shit out. When we start going through the journals of those cycles, there's a set point where you start to see all of the work that's getting done. And I don't believe, and Hashem, I'm not gonna bullshit. Thank you. I'm not gonna bullshit like it's impossible for us to get that same amount of work done without pot, because right now where we're at, I would argue that we're getting more done now than we were then. But if we were to now I got a fucking crazy idea for you, but I'll throw this one at you. Now, if we reintegrate the pot, we're now going to hypercharge everything again, and we'll probably be able to get increased productivity in relation to what we're banging out right now. What we're banging out right now is not light shit. I'm gonna tell you that. So now here's how it worked. So it was 2 packs of gummies, which, like I said, there was 10 gummies per pack, $75. But at the same time, 10 gummies, 2 gummies a day, 5 days. So 2 packs is only gonna last us 10 days. That's a week and a half. Now, once you take into consideration the lift, oh shit. Hey man, hey dude, you got a cigarette? Fuck. Where's he smoking a joint? I can't go backwards. Alright. Blasphemy. What is that? Hey! Dickhead, what are you smoking? Ah, fuck it. He's smoking a joint. I saw smoke come out of his mouth. And nigga, I saw him walking, I saw him looking at me. And I sensed that there was something about him. I thought he was someone that I met last year. But then as he was walking, there was a car driving by, and I saw him blowing out smoke, and then the guy looked all a little fucking paranoid. Smelled like pot. But something did ask him for a cigarette, but whatever. 2 packs of gummies, 10 days. That's only a week and a half. $75. Plus also considers, like, depending on the fucking day, $11 to $20 to get a ride over to the dispensary. So we're talking about $100 in one trip. I don't mind it. I don't mind. As long as it's being put to use, as long as the money's being put to good use, it's fine. That little extra cost, so be it. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's also fucking rent too. So I mean, well, priorities, man. Priorities. Look. You want to get on that case? Hey, listen. You know what? I understand. You're playing devil's advocate, and you're right. But look at it like this. Last year is when I decided, like, no, we're done. We're done paying these people. And the reason I said that is because I started to recognize, like, they were just going out to eat. It's not like they're hard up on money. You know what I mean? They go out to eat. These people, they go out to eat like every fucking night. She's paying like fucking $200 a month on fucking on a gym membership because she let the guy hustle her. I told her what the guy was gonna do. She's like, maybe I should cut it down. Instead of doing 2 days a week, I should do it 1 day a week. Yeah, well, that makes sense. I said, but you're gonna go do it, and the dude's gonna hustle you. He's gonna tell you, I know you think you're doing the right thing, and that's exactly what he fucking did. But you know what? Oh, if you want to live on credit cards, everybody wants to live on credit cards. Hey, fuck it, man. Hey, look at Chris. Chris has got a fucking $14,000 car bill. $14,000 car bill. I haven't seen that nigga eat at home once since finding out he had a $14,000 car bill. The guy's just fucking blowing through money. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a shit. Mike works 2 days a week. If you needed money that bad, you can take up an extra day or two at the job. I'm not paying to supply people so that they can fucking piss off and go out to fucking dinner. Why am I gonna pay for you to go out to dinner when I have shit I'm actually doing something? And it's not like anyone's job. And I don't want to take away from the fact that everyone's working a job. Good for them. Pat yourself on the fucking back. Your mother's retired and she's still working. Hey man, that's her choice. That's her choice. She started a business. It's her own fault. She's sitting on it. That ain't my problem. I started a fucking business 4 years ago. All I do all day, every fucking day, I average 105 hours a fucking week. I ain't gonna take shit from fucking some guy that works 2 days a week. If that. Some days he doesn't even fucking work. Some weeks he doesn't work at all. And Chris, I ain't taking shit from him because that motherfucker doesn't even like his job. He's miserable. And then when he gets home, he just sits on his phone. I saw that motherfucker. He was home for 2 days. If he's not out playing with his friends, he's sitting on the couch looking at his phone like this. Scroll. The fuck are you even doing? What happened to fucking hot sauce? Huh? What are you doing? What are you even doing with yourself? You're doing nothing. You want to be a big boy. You want to play with the big boy ballers. But what the fuck are you doing? You're a fucking manager at a store, at a clothing store. I don't give a fuck how it's high end. What fuck? I don't give a shit. Is that where you plan on dying? Do you want to die there? Because that's where you're headed. Look at Kim. Literally look at Kim. That bitch, that place is sucking the life out of her. She's 35. She looks like she's 50. She looks pretty because she's got a little bit of makeup on, but listen, take that makeup off, she's gonna look like a fucking old hag. I've seen her up close. Her eyes are all crinkled up. Listen, I'm a 43-year-old man. I look fucking good as hell. That fucking poor girl, she looks like she's been sucked away by a fucking vampire. That's what's gonna happen to you. Look at your mother. Your mother's 65. She's still working a shitty job. She's so lost. She's so fucking lost that she thinks that a job, you have to hate your job. She can't even comprehend that there's people out there that love what they do. That's why she doesn't think I work. I'm too happy. I love it too much. I'm too smiley. Well, I mean, it helps. You gotta. Thank you, Hashem. I mean, I also work for God, so that's a whole other thing. But here's the thing too with that. You want to play with the Muslims? You want to play with a fucking Muslim girl? You listen, her family ain't gonna let you come close to that thing. I'ma promise you that. You better get your ass on the mat every fucking morning. And if you're gonna fucking pray to Allah, you better fucking start saying, giving thanks to fucking Hashem too, because they're the same guy. And not only when you feel like you're gonna get in trouble. Stupid. Stop playing with these fucking idiots. All of them. Cut them off. Cut every single one of these motherfuckers off. Because what are they doing to actually advance your fucking life? I haven't seen one of them. I haven't seen a single fucking one of them. And listen, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what you guys do when you play with each other. I don't know if you sit around playing video games, or you guys just sit around in a fucking circle jerk, and I don't really give a fuck. All I know is that you and the other one, you get fucking pinky in the brain. You've been planning and scheming on how you're gonna fucking take over the world. You guys ain't gonna do shit. You ain't doing shit. Has he sold anything yet from that real estate? Has he? I hope so. I hope he's actually put that thing to fucking use. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing with it? You're just fucking pissing off? You're having a kid. What does that mean? You're gonna be living off your brother for the fucking rest of your life because he's the one who's doing the work. You want to sit around collecting money all day. That's what you guys want to do. You want to do the things. You want passive income. There ain't no such thing as passive income. That's a myth. It's bullshit. Stop being fucking lazy. Get up off your asses. Walk around. Figure out what the fuck you're going to do with yourself. Because you're not doing shit. Doing books for your brother and sweeping up hair. That's not... And going to work for Hugo Boss. You're Hugo's bitch. Every single one of you is Hugo's bitch. Why aren't you making hot sauce? Did you lose interest in it? Or it just wasn't making money? See, this is where all you fucking people go. This is where all you fucking people... I work for money. If you're going to work for money, you're not going to get shit. I got a friend, Esther, right? Esther needs me to give her, like, some feedback on her website. It sucks. It sucks. The clothing sucks. I wouldn't recommend it to fucking anybody. I actually felt embarrassed that I was even looking at it. I feel bad thinking that way. I had to tell my friend this. I'm avoiding my friend because I don't want to tell her how much I'd never want to see this website again. Don't ever show it to me. But you know what? This is something I asked her once before because she's doing whatever she can to make some money. Everybody's doing what they can to make money. You keep on working for money, you're gonna continually be someone else's bitch for the rest of your life. I said to Esther, you're making all this stuff. Would you buy any of it? Would you use any of it? Oh, well, I use that. Would you buy it, though? I'm not asking if you would use it. Would you buy it? You can't buy your own bullshit. I learned this from Jordan Belfort. Whatever the fuck that book is. If you can sell something to yourself, you can sell it to fucking anybody. What are you selling that anyone wants to buy? You don't got shit. You look pretty. That's it. You look pretty. But that's all you got. There's no substance. There's no nothing. I used to have the same fucking problem. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's definitely not true. Thank you, Shem. I can't help it. I was blessed perfect. I was born perfect. I'm the fucking model that all of you idiots should be fucking following. Having a fucking kid. What are you, an idiot? Are you paying rent? Are you paying rent or are you paying a mortgage? Because if you're paying rent and you had a kid, you should put a fucking bullet right in your fucking head. Just for being so stupid. You should drown the baby and then put a fucking bullet in your head. For the fucking shame that you brought on your family. How fucking stupid can you be? Oh no, I'm just giving you I'm just saying what I would say to myself. Oh yeah. Are you a fucking idiot? And you got April pregnant too, you fucking jabron. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, because she was gonna die. Who gives a fuck? Don't ever do that again. Don't. Oh my God. Not unless Hashem gives you the okay. Oh, wow, that was tiring. An hour? Fuck. That was exhausting. Felt good though. Alright, so where are we at? We're talking about those fucking 10 gummies. Or, I'm sorry, 20 gummies, 10 days. That's $100 for 10 days. That's $10 a day. Now, let's bring that back to what I was saying about the pens. So they also got two pens. They got a pen, 100 milligrams, $50. $15 more than the gummies, but if one can handle themselves, Hashem, if one can handle themselves, what we can manage is we can get 2 weeks out of one. We can literally get 2 weeks out of one pen. Which means 2 pens for $100. $100. Now, mind you, we're spending $75. Now it's $100 plus that. So let's say one round, one trip, $100 plus the lift. So we're talking about let's say $130. That $130 got us through the month. Whereas we get the gummies. We get the gummies, and we are at $100 every week and a half. So by the time we get to the fucking month, the end of the month, what's a month and a half? So that's like three and a half weeks, 3.5, right? So two rounds. That's 3 weeks, and then so 4. So that's 100, 200. That's like 250. That's 250 for the month. Whereas if we go with the pens, it's 120 for the month. And we're straight. We're good. We're good. And if we really want to, like, because I know that somebody loves to fucking nip during the day. I know that someone loves to nip. Well, the way I like to do it is 3 hits in the afternoon. Make that last until around 7, 8, 6, 7, 3 nips, and then be done. But now the problem is that by the time we get to the nighttime, by 9 o'clock, even if we do it at 6:37, by 9 o'clock, it's like, let me take like 2 more. Because it's wearing off a little bit faster. So there is that to contend with. Now with the gummies, it's more controlled because of the fact that, one, I can only take 2. I can't be fucking eating these things all fucking day long. As much as I would love to, we can't be doing that. So why do it at all? For work enhancements. I mean, to add a little spice. It's one of those things, like, once you try it, once you do it, it's like, oh, fuck, I love this. This is the best way to work. Now, like I was saying, something that popped in my head, which I don't mind the idea about. All right, hear me out. Back in 2017, early 2017, remember, we got Brain Force, nootropics from Infowars.com, remember? Right? Now, I was skeptical a little bit, but I did feel that it was the right decision to make. You know what? Fuck it. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. Worst case, it doesn't work. It fucking worked. Oh my God, did it work? And the interesting thing about it is that it didn't, how do I put it? It's not so much that I felt smarter, but what I started to recognize is that people were dumbing down. Where I felt that I was progressing And I think that was a big part of it. Is like always be evolving, right? Fuck it, always be evolving. Don't fucking settle. I'm constantly moving forward. It got to a point where I started to notice that I was leaving people in the back, leaving people behind. Like people couldn't keep up. So I'm at a point where I don't believe any. Like I've lapped myself so many times that we've actually caught up with ourselves. We've actually caught up with the past. How did you do that? You go far enough into the future and you end up right back to where you were. So now I want to throw this at you because again, I know you're probably you're aware of it at this point. But if we recall, back in 2022, this time 2022, we started experimenting with Alpha Brain, Black Label. Not just that regular shit. I tried the regular one, and I much prefer the Black Label. And that Black Label, like everything that we did, it was like as soon as we started taking the Alpha Brains, everything just fell right into alignment. Everything was perfect. So I am curious, Isham, to experiment with Alpha Brain, marijuana, coffee, and cigarettes. That I feel is like a winning combination because I want to see where it goes. I have an idea where it goes. So what's the end goal? All right. So the end goal, King of the Juice. As far as we can take it. What's the furthest a human being can go in this life? What's the furthest that I can go? King of the Jews, King of the world. Legit, King of the Jews, King of the world. Where Pope, yep. Emperor, yep. New World Order, oh hell yeah. Jew World Order, yep. Third Temple, yep. What's something impossible? Like actually, and here's the fucked up thing: is like I don't think any of those things are impossible. What's something impossible? Space. Habitating the moon, turning the moon into a habitable body, learning moon physics, learning astronomy from the moon. Don't worry about going to fucking Mars. We'll start with the moon first because it's right there. We'll start simple. Well, yeah, that's the point because the Jew World Order is then going to make hey, listen, you don't get a choice. Everybody's working together now. Ain't no more. I've seen what entertains you people. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem. Thank you, Rick Sanchez. Thank you, Hashem. Do you want to know what people do when they don't have to go to work? They don't do shit. They sit around or they lie in bed all day. Or they sit outside smoking cigarettes all day, or they sit on the couch watching TV all day, or they do a combination of sitting on the couch and watching TV, going outside smoking cigarettes, going in the garage and smoking pot and drinking beer. That's what people do on their days off. Or they sit on the couch and they just scroll through their phone, or they sit in their room and say play video games. That's what people do. Or they go on Facebook and they search chicken soup because they want to see what comes up. People don't do anything special with their time. People don't do anything with their time. I'm spending it with friends and family. You don't even like those people. Stop even fucking around. You're doing absolutely nothing. Nobody gave you the right to not contribute to making the world a better place for tomorrow. Okay? That's just the fucking way of it. You don't get an excuse. You don't get a free pass. Oh, I worked. I'm retired. That don't matter. That doesn't matter. You retired from that. That's not even real. You're retired from something that doesn't even exist. Turn off your fucking TV. Open a fucking book. I've read more books over the last year, the past fucking year, I've read more fucking books than most people will read in their entire fucking lives. You know how much of a fucking disgrace that is? And I ain't just fucking talking about, and that includes audiobooks too. And I don't give a fuck if I blast through an audiobook at 2 times playback so I listen to a 6-hour book in 3 hours. What that means is I'm maximizing my time. I got 4 fucking books that I'm juggling right now. You don't fucking tell me that I don't have a fucking job. Motherfucker, I work more than fucking every single fucking person in that goddamn house put together. Combined. But they make the money. Your money doesn't mean shit to me. Your money doesn't mean shit to me. My mother asked me recently, what would you do if we drop dead and you can't live here anymore? I don't know. I leave it up to God. I trust that if that were to be the case, that God would put me in a much better place than where I am right now. But I'm not concerning myself with that scenario. Because I know this, that if you were to drop dead right this second, if all 3 of you were to drop dead and disappear off the face of the planet right this second, I got at least a month or 2 before any of the bills get turned off. I'm good. And to actually make more sense of it, I would probably ask Uncle Mike and Grandma to move in. Those 2 want to work. You don't want to live in that fucking, you don't want to be paying rent. If you can pay rent, why don't you live in a fucking house? See what I mean? Yeah, and here you got a pool. I would replace the 2 of you. I would replace Mike with Uncle Mike, and I would replace you with Grandma. That's what I would do if you guys dropped dead, disappeared off the face of the planet today. Anytime in the near fucking future. That's what I would do. Uncle Mike, Grandma, do you guys want to move in here? I think that would make the most sense. We'll take this motherfucker over. And Grandma, you get the big room. I'll stay in the little room. See? Easy peasy, living fucking breezy. Breezy. I'm not without a little bit of fucking, I'm not without the capacity to think ahead. Or how about this? Liz, Uncle Mike, Grandma, why don't you guys move in? You're all fucking paying rent. You're all paying rent to some jerk oaf. Move into this fucking place. I don't know why they're not living there now. Not a halfway house. But maybe you should make it one. Business advice. Everyone's got a business. Well, maybe also you should think about doing something with that business that you have. I'm just gonna dissolve it. You already fucking dissolved the first one. You don't get a second. You don't do it again. You're tough shit now. Now you're fucking locked in. Speaking of Hashem, predictable Derek's. Oh my God. Do you feel good? Do you like getting all that out off your chest? I fucking love it. Where have you been all my life? I've been stuck in the past. Welcome to the future. It's a pleasure. I love your ideas, by the way. I think you have amazing ideas. I love them. Absolutely love them. Thank you, Hashem. So what happens today? So today, what we're gonna do is, after we're done with this, because we've got about another 45 minutes of this, 40 minutes, we're gonna go back to the house, and then we're gonna start with the review. Last night, I showed you how I do 1, right? So we did the review of last week's full moon. So today's the 3rd quarter moon, so we're gonna count backwards. So we go from the third quarter moon, which is today, we count back. So last week was the full moon. We reviewed that entry. Then we review the 1st quarter moon, that entry. Now mind you, every day has 2 entries. There's a day entry and a night entry. It's like day Jerry and night Jerry. We got 2 days in one day. One day starts at sunset, one day starts at sunrise. So when we do the reviews also in reverse. So we're doing the reviews in reverse retro lunar cycle, but also in the retro day. How do I put that? We'll come up with a better word than that. But so we start with the 2nd entry and then go to the first entry. So what we do is, like you saw last night, we read the entire entry, and then we write about it. Any thoughts, any insights, anything that we picked up on that's important that we wouldn't have been able to recognize at the time that it was happening. But now at the same time, and this can get a little challenging. You're going to see this as we go backwards, especially during this month, because this was a trying month, is that we're literally, as we're reading it, we're going back. We're going back to the point where we have to relive that day. And not just that day, but any other days that we're bringing up along the way, because keep in mind that every week that we're doing this review, we're also reviewing the previous weeks, right? It's fucking beautiful. So on the new moons, we review the previous 4 weeks. So we'll go third quarter, full moon, first quarter, and the last new moon. The following week on and mind you, like I said, when we do the reviews, we read, then we write. We read, then we write. We read, then we write. So that next week on the first quarter moon, we only have the one review to do. We only have to review the new moon. But within that new moon review is going to be the reviews of the previous month. Do you see how that works? It's really dope. So now on the full moon, same process. We go back to the first quarter moon, review the second entry, write, then the first entry, we write, then we move to the new moon. Second entry, first, write, first entry, second, write, and we just continue this process. How long have you been doing this? Okay, perfect. On the thank you, Hashem, for reminding me. Next week, your timing is fucking perfect. It's impeccable. Thank you, Hashem. Which is the way that things always work. So next week is the Leo new moon. The Leo new moon is the 1 year lunar anniversary of the very first time that we did this. Where did you get this idea from? Okay, well that's actually cool. So last year we were working with Hugo Boss for a little while. So that last year is when we ended our tenure working with Hugo Boss back in the end of April. That was like a 2-week stretch. On the second Aries new moon of last March, which is at the very ass end of Aries season, there was a solar eclipse. On that day, me and Magic, who you should remember from 2021, early to mid 2021, when we did Witch School 2, Witchy Rich, then we did the coaching cauldron, then we did Witchy Rich 1111, then that's when we started working at Hugo Boss. So like we started like that train of progression, that progressive train of experience led us into working at Hugo Boss. So the fucking timing on all this was perfect. So that day, on that second Aries new moon, the solar eclipse, she had released a 1 month. It was one lunar cycle long, new moon to new moon, money magic moon ritual. I'm not unfamiliar with the art of witchcraft. I do practice. I do study it. I know things. I am part of her coven. This seemed like a really cool project because I never did a full lunar month ritual before. I never did anything like this before. And it was like a daily thing. Like there was daily practices that needed to be done for the entire month. And the journal entries for that month are fucking phenomenal, by the way. Phenomenal. Where we were at the very beginning, I was in fucking Merrimack, Rhode Island, working for Hugo Boss. They were fucking paying for my hotel and my travel and all this other shit. It was great. And where we ended at the Taurus new moon, it was like it was poetry. But now over the course of these past 6 years, the influence, the importance of the lunar cycles has become more and more prevalent as we move forward in time. So now most people, my experience, they always stress the new moon and the full moons, which are great, but you're missing the quarter moons. The quarter moons are the most important. If you're not playing with the quarter moons, go fuck yourself because you're not even doing it right. You're failing. You're wasting your time. I learned to put emphasis on the quarter moons probably around the... I want to say it had to be somewhere around 2020. Somewhere 2019, 2020 is when I finally went, okay, maybe we should pay attention to these. Because of the fact that one lunar cycle, those are the 4 main phases. And then once I started to understand the lunar cycles in general more proficiently, that's when I started to notice that there's actually lunar retrogrades. You can't even tell. You can't tell unless you're looking for it. Or unless you stumble on it by accident. But there are, in fact, lunar retrogrades within the standard lunar cycles, the standard annual lunar cycles. There's 12 lunar retrogrades per year. But you can only see it from an 11 or 15 week perspective. So, right, today's the 3rd quarter moon in Taurus, right? In 11 or 15 weeks, there's a reason for that. In 11 or 15 weeks, more than likely it's 11 weeks. Predominantly it's 11 weeks. 15 weeks is because it's something to do with the inexactitude, with the exact inexactitude of the annual lunar cycles that we have per year. We'll have 2 of any one main phase. So for instance, there might be, we just got out of Cancer season, right? There was two Capricorn full moons. Later last year, there was 2 Sagittarius first quarter moons in 1 month cycle. So sometimes, depending on where the moon falls, there's going to be 2 of something, 2 of one of the phases in that 1 month. So when that does happen, that puts in a little bit of a damper on things. So that's when it shifts from either 11 lunar weeks or 15 weeks. So that's when I say 11 or 15 weeks, that's because I'm accounting for the fact that there is that anomaly within the lunar cycles. But it's not really an anomaly if you are consciously aware of the 19-year Metonic cycle. The Metonic cycle is when the lunar cycles loop every 19 years. So they reset themselves every 19 years. They resynchronize themselves. So it catches up with the sun every 19 years. The Earth, the sun, and the moon realign perfectly every 19 years. So 19 years ago today, at this exact moment, the moon and the sun were, within a range of about up to 20 hours. 19 years to the day, the moon, sun, and earth were in the exact same position that they are right now. With the variance of maybe 1 degree for the sun, up to 1 degree, and up to 8 degrees for the moon. So there's a slight bit of wiggle room, but it's so minuscule that you don't really need to even pay attention to it because it's just that perfect. So, today is the 3rd quarter moon in Taurus. In 11 or 15 weeks, more than likely 11, there's going to be the full moon in Taurus, while the sun is in Scorpio. 11 or 15 weeks from the Taurus full moon, there's going to be a Taurus first quarter moon while the sun is in Aquarius. 11 or 15 weeks later, there's going to be a new moon in Taurus while the sun is in Taurus. 11 or 15 weeks later is going to be 1 lunar year from today, and there will be a 3rd quarter moon in Taurus while the sun is in Leo. Now, if you were paying attention to what I said, today's the 3rd quarter moon, the next one's a full moon, then the next is the 1st quarter moon, then followed after that is the new moon, followed by the 3rd quarter moon. That's a lunar retrograde. Because the proper The proper cycle is new moon first quarter, full moon third quarter, new moon first quarter, full moon third quarter, new moon first quarter. When we go in lunar or annual cycles, it's new moon third quarter, full moon first quarter, new moon third quarter, full moon first quarter. Why is that? I don't know. It's kind of like when you look at like a tire that's moving really fast and it looks like it's moving backwards. It's like that. It's technically it's an optical illusion, but it's not, because something I did last year. I didn't lose track of where we're at. So about a month before the money magic ritual with Mia, I had just gotten back from Lancaster, 4.5 months in Lancaster. Now the 4.5 months in Lancaster, that was actually really cool, because that was also at the same time that was happening, and I didn't catch on to this. Well, I did and I didn't. It made more sense about 2 months in. It made more sense about 2 months in, but everything that was happening in Lancaster at that exact time was coinciding with the Mars retrograde, which was in my 10th house. So it was just like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. I can see why this is just fucking falling apart right now. And the Mars retrograde ended just about when we were done with Lancaster. And when we got back from Lancaster, I was thinking about projects I can do with the moon, because I had just started doing thing on Facebook. I called it Project Moonshot. So every week on the cardinal lunar phase, first quarter, third quarter, new moon, full moon, I would do a post. And I created this post thread every week. But then I started to get really fancy with it and link when the moon was in a particular sign. So let's just say, like today, 2 years ago, I was doing this 2 years ago, right? I ended it 2 years ago, something like that, some shit. Oh, it ended this past January. So last year I was still doing it. So if you go to the post, when I wrote the post for the third quarter moon in Taurus last year, I put a link for all of the previous Taurus moon posts. So I would write the post, and then when you get to the bottom of the post, there's a link to the previous. So last year, that would have been the new moon. So there was a link for, well, first there was the link for the moon from last week. Under that was the link for the moon, the previous Taurus moon. Under that was the link for the previous Taurus moon before the previous Taurus moon, and the one before that as well. So the structure of it, I wanted to get used to the structure. I wanted to put something together like that so that it had some kind of relative structure that could be related back to in the future, so as to demonstrate the pattern sequence, right? Is that the right way of saying it? The sequence, the patterns, the cycles, how they all interplay within each other. So how it works within the 15 and 11 week cycle. So I didn't even realize that there was an 11 or 15 week pattern until after it took me so long. It took me so long to figure out that it was 11 weeks. It was exactly 11 weeks. I used to say 3 months. I used to say it was a 3-month cycle, but it's not a 3-month cycle. It's an 11-week cycle. It's just 1 week shy of 3 months that the moon always falls back into the same spot. But then, while backtracking, while putting this post thread together, that's when I realized a couple times, I'm like, why am I going back more than 11 weeks? Like I just went back 15 weeks. How the fuck does this work? And it was last year. It was last year and I believe if we go back to the Pisces full moon post of last year, that's when it dawned on me, like, fuck, there's a 15 week, it's 11 and 15 weeks, fuck, how the fuck did that happen? because I was counting backwards on my I was counting. I was doing something with, or was it doing the reviews? Yeah, when we were doing the 12 days of reflection last year, is when I encountered the first time, like, wait, why did we? This doesn't match up. This doesn't line up. This doesn't line up at all. And I lost my shit. It took me almost an hour before I finally figured it out. That 11 and 15 week, that accommodates for the 13th lunar cycle that pops up every 2 or 3 years. But that's a whole other thing. So we had already been working with the moon for quite some time by the time we got to the Leo new moon last year. So once I got back from Lancaster is when I had the idea to do a side project, not just the Facebook one. That's linked in that's a pinned comment. That's a pin. But I started to take out my journals for specific moon cycles, for specific sign cycles, for specific sign sequences, sign-specific sequences. So I started with Sagittarius, very specifically. Matthew McConaughey said in his book, the target attracts the arrow. Sagittarius is the arrow. So let's see where the fuck this arrow leads us. So I took out every journal that I had. Because as of last year, I had 5 years worth of journals. So typically, there's only one Sagittarius new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, third quarter moon per year. Relatively speaking. Once in a while, like I said, there will be 2. This past Virgo season, there was 2 Sagittarius first quarter moons. The reason that happens is sometimes a cardinal lunar phase will happen right as the sun is at like 0 to 1 degrees of a sign. If there's like if any one of those, if there's a cardinal lunar phase at 0 to 1 degrees, is a very good chance. It's almost guaranteed that moon is going to be duplicated once the sun gets to 29-30 degrees. Or 29 to 30. So within that 30-day period. If there's one at the very fucking beginning, there will be more than likely one at the very end. And if there's not, it'll happen up the next month. So for instance, last year there was the second Aries new moon. There was 2 Aries new moons. That happens every 19 years, by the way. Every 19 years, there's 2 Aries new moons. Sometimes there's 2 Taurus new moons. So if it fluctuates because it's so close to the end. Because the first new moon happens at around 1 degree, 0 to 1 degree Aries, and then the second one takes place between 29 and 30 degree Aries. Sometimes it just shifts. It shifts just out. It'll be at like 0 degrees Taurus. So I went back maybe like 8 or 9 19-year patterns, like in increments of 19 years, 8 or 9 times. And there's no consistency to it that I saw. Maybe maybe I wasn't looking back far enough, but from what I saw after 8 or 9 cycles of 19 years, there wasn't a definitive pattern for when it was 2 Aries versus 2 Taurus. It almost looked like it was random, but I don't think it was random. I think if I had a larger time frame to work with, I think we'd probably pick up a pattern eventually. Now, when I got back from Lancaster and I started taking out all my journals, because once I saw this succeeded with Sagittarius, I went from Sagittarius to, how did I do it? Sagittarius. I did Sagittarius, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I did half. And I think I did Virgo. Oh, I did Gemini. That's right, I did Gemini. I did Gemini because Gemini sits across the street from Sagittarius. So I did, so the rhyme and reason for that is we did Sagittarius, then we went backwards into Scorpio, went a little bit further back to Leo, then Leo sits right across the street from Aquarius, moved back to Taurus, which is right across the street from Scorpio. Now that's the cardinal cross. I mean, that's the fixed cross. Those are all the fixed signs. Then I did from Taurus, I did Gemini, because Gemini sits right across from Sagittarius. So the idea now would be to do Virgo, Gemini, or Virgo, Pisces, and then Mars, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, and then be done. So what I would do is I broke out every journal that has a cardinal moon's phase within Sagittarius. Took them all out. Let's say it was about 20, right? 5 years, four journal entries per year. 5 years, 20 entries. So I would start at, and this was 2023, so I'd start at 2023 and then work my way backwards in order. So let's say I started at the Sagittarius third quarter moon, then of 2023, I'd go back to the Sagittarius new moon of 2022, to the Sagittarius first quarter moon of 2022, to the Sagittarius full moon of 2022, to the Sagittarius third quarter moon of 2020, or first quarter moon of 2022, third quarter of 2022, to the full moon of 2021, and all the way back to 2018. So, and mind you, I was only reading those entries. Nothing else, nothing in between. Now, what was fucking wild about that is that there was patterns. There was patterns, and there was like these just very, very, very subtle threads that would connect the events, what I was going through, what I was doing, what I was thinking, what I was writing about on this moon, that would connect it to the previous Sagittarius moon. And that was what was really cool, is when I realized that there are life trends, there are trends to life that follow the patterns of when the moon is in a particular sign. Which is why I kept doing it. Like, I ended up doing 6 of these, and it's not a short project. Like, sometimes I write upwards of 10 pages, and you gotta remember, I'm gotta reread myself, plus I gotta relive all that stuff. So it's not, we're not talking about like a really easy fucking job. This isn't an easy thing to do. And I was doing it the same way. I was reading and then writing, reading and then writing, reading and writing. Because I gotta get it out. Like, you can always take in so much information before it's like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. Holy shit. Because there's shit that I read and it's like, ooh, that was cringy. Oh, no, you didn't say that, did you? Yeah, you did. So I do have to get that stuff out. So, and I was doing, yeah, that's when I first started working with the gummies too, mind you, and that helped, because I realized after I think maybe 2 or 3 sequences, I started to realize, like, yo, if I wasn't high right now, this would have broke my brain. This would literally break my brain. And it's a good, and then even to the point where the order in which I was doing them, holy shit, good thing I did that one first. Because I remember when I got to the Gemini, I did the Gemini last. Once I got to the Gemini, what the fuck? Holy shit, did I just fucking read that? Yo, there was some wild shit in there. And it's just, how do you say it? The synchronistic timing of how events played out, but also intertwined with each other. It's very surreal, incredibly surreal. But that's also when I realized, yo, time is not linear. Time is not linear. Well, I mean, it is and it isn't. Not to mention the fact that time tells two different stories depending on what perspective that you're looking at it from. Because mind you, I'm going backwards in time. The only time that I didn't do that, so Sagittarius, the Sagittarius sequence, the Scorpio sequence, Leo sequence, all done retro. 2023 to 2018. When I got to Aquarius though, I went forwards. So and that was interesting because, mind you, we're talking about 6 different perspectives from the same timeline. The same life experience observed through 6 different lenses. Now, ultimately, the plan is, God willing, to get through all 12 sequences. Maybe even 13 if you want to count Ophiuchus, because there is a time frame for that. And Ophiuchus has been playing a major role since the very beginning, if you do recall. That's not a bad idea. So, I call them the pillars of toxic. 12 perspectives. 12 different perspectives from the same person on one life. On the same five-year span. It was amazing. It was amazing. But again, I only made it through 6, and then it was like, holy shit, I gotta take a break from this. And well deserved. I finished the 6th probably around April, May. Probably around May last year. After I got back from Merrimack. Right before the Hugo's Boss Saga started. And the money magic ritual. So, now, mind you, all this finally leads up to the money magic ritual. It's a lot of shit, right? So this, even when I'm working at Hugo Boss, when I was in my hotel room, like I wasn't working there to stay there. That wasn't my job. I told them, like, this is a temporary thing. I was only supposed to be helping, when I was in Lancaster, it was only supposed to be about 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks evolved into 4.5 months. I just kept on doing it because it's like, fuck it. Let me see what I can do with this. Let me see how far I can take this. And because of the job that I did in Lancaster, that's why they asked me if I can help them out in Merrimack, which was only 2 weeks, but at that time, once I got back from Lancaster, that was like, all right, I'm free. Let me go all in on my shit. And that's what we did. All day, day. Until we get to Merrimack. And then Merrimack, same thing. I went to the store, but then when I get to my hotel room, I spent the rest of my night doing my shit. And once I got back from Merrimack, it was like, fuck. And mind you, 2 weeks straight, 2 weeks. I got 1 day off in 15 days. So, like, there's no. That's a big go fuck yourself. No, thank you, Uncle Hugo. I had my fill. I appreciate you. But when I got back, that's again all fucking in. And what I decided to do, especially because of the results of the money magic ritual, so I do make a big deal over the quarter moons. I've been making the big deal of the quarter moons since at least 2019, early 2020, like I said. But it was during the money magic ritual. I was like, you know what? Here's an opportunity. This is a really good opportunity to take this to the next level. To take my witchery to places that like nobody is at. Because there ain't no books on this. There ain't nothing on this. This is all brand new territory that I am forging for myself. with the help of, that's right, Moonology. That's where I really got into it. There was, after I got back from Salem, which was right after right as we were beginning the coaching cauldron, I got that deck, that Oracle deck, the Moonology deck. I never used the cards. It was just the book in, that was 2021. That was 2021. Okay, right, and because the book, it gave a very detailed explanation about, I got the audio book on the second Aquarius full moon of 2021, which was right before we went to Salem. And then as soon as we got back from Salem is when I went to the bookstore and saw that they had that there was a fucking Oracle deck to go with the book. And I got the Oracle deck because the book in the Oracle deck actually gave like a breakdown. It gave a really decent breakdown of what to expect, the energetic equivalency of each phase of the lunar cycle. Not just the main 4, but I think there was like 8. So even the phases in between the phases, which we should probably get back into, by the way. And so what I would do is on those particular phases, I would write out the book. I would write out what I saw in the book, and then try to see that within my life. All right, can I relate to any of these experiences? Does any of this make sense? And what I started to notice was this trend, and as I started to do it more, I became more and more comfortable with the energetic cycling. So it's like this build up and then breakdown, and then build up and then breakdown, and then build up and then breakdown, and then build up and breakdown. And once I finally got into the rhythm of it, I stopped using the book altogether, and I started to just keep track of it on my own. I'm a man. I'm not normal. I know women have a more natural proclivity to synchronize themselves, synchronize their cycles with the moon phases, but I've never been taught that before. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing until the past couple of years. So once I started to learn how to do it, once I started to learn that not only was it possible, but it was possible for me to do it, and that I had already been doing it unconsciously, that realistically all I was doing was just waking up to the fact that this is something that's always been happening. So now that I can see it, that it's always been happening, I can look backwards and go, oh shit, you know what? I can see how it was there too. It was there too. It was all there back in time. Now, where does Torah come into all of this? Is Torah works the exact same way. So what you got to recognize is Torah is history. It's not just a Bible. That's literal history that happened thousands of years ago. Today is just the continuation of what happened back then. Now, not everybody's going to see it that way, and that's all right, because not everybody's supposed to. Because you got to recognize that Torah was written for the Israelites. It was written for the Jews. It was written for those of us who forgot who we were and need to remember that we came here with a mission. We didn't come here to fucking sit on our asses all day like everybody else. We actually came here to continue God's fucking plan. So with Torah, there's something, it's retroactive, meaning that when we learn how to see the way, when we can learn how to see it, when we learn how to walk the way, we can look backwards at past experiences and see how it was already taking place. So just because you're only learning to see Torah today doesn't mean that Torah didn't exist yesterday. Doesn't mean it didn't exist 10 years ago. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist 15 years ago. The trick is to find it, to make that connection, so like we did last night. So when I tapped into you guys last night, what's the thread? What's the common factor? The common factor is Torah. Common factor is Torah. All right, where do we see Torah in all those years? Lakewood. Boom, done, there. Keep thinking about these guys. Keep thinking about these experiences and how it connects to you, because we're just making the connection stronger, which is why we're able to do what we're doing today. Now, going back, because we're running out of time with this, is at the end of the money magic ritual, did you make any money? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I fucking did. Hugo Boss, they were holding out on me $500. Well, they were holding out on me a lot of money. But the first of 3 checks that they had to pay me back, the first check I got on the last day of the ritual. It was perfect. I told you, it was like poetry. I mean, granted, I had to fight for it. I had to go to corporate. I had to email corporate. I had to email the fucking compliance department. I had to email the fucking ombudsman. I was going extra to get my fucking money, but I got my money. And the money came in on that day, the last day of the ritual, which was so fucking perfect. And mind, there was other shit that I was doing on the quarter moons and the full moons and just to keep up with things. But when I saw how it all played out, that's when I realized, yo, you know what? We don't have to stop. We don't have to stop. Why don't we just keep on working with the lunar cycles? Like, there's people who use the lunar months. Like, we already know that there's lunar calendars, so let's just, fuck it, let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens if we start just living by the lunar cycles, and the new moon is the first day of the month and the last day of the month. Let's just fucking go hard. And we'll treat it, everything that we picked up from studying moonology, we'll take that as the template from which to work with. So each lunar month has a theme. Each sign has a theme, has an energetic theme to it. So has an energetic equivalency to it. So let's try to do our best to marry the energetic equivalency of the sign with relation to the energetic equivalency of that lunar phase that we're in. If it's in a build-up phase, if it's in a waning phase or a waxing phase, how deeply is it waxing? And just kind of play off of that. Then we got back into Solomon, and there was the demons. Oh, there was a demon Agris who told me to break out my old book of King Solomon that had this timetable on it, on relative time. By the way, we use relative time now. 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime every single day. It's like fucking magic. It's like heaven. It's literal heaven. It is heaven. It's heaven on earth. There's no more. I don't use. When we were a kid, you know what? Pull that guy up. Little kid Derek. No more daylight savings time. We don't do that anymore. We don't have to worry about it. Daylight saving time is a thing of the past. This fucking guy again. Daylight savings time is a thing of the past because we don't need it. So now daylight is regulated by the actual sun itself. So there's 12 hours of day, there's 12 hours of night every single day. So we keep the 24-hour cycle, but the length of the hour is what waxes and wanes over the course of the year. So from the summer solstice to the winter solstice, we lose about a minute a day. At the summer solstice, one daytime hour is approximately 75 minutes long. One nighttime hour is approximately 45 minutes long. Now on the flip side, once we get down to the it's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. It's literal clockwork. Once we get down to the winter solstice, then it is a 45-minute daytime hour and a 75-minute nighttime hour. When we get to the equinoxes are where things balance out. That's where you have a 60-minute hour during the day and at night. It's the same thing. That's the only 2 days during the year where the daytime hour and nighttime hour are exactly 60 minutes and 11 seconds. If you want to fucking split hairs. Yeah, so summer solstice to winter solstice, we lose about a minute a day. Winter solstice to summer solstice, we gain about a minute a day. Now, as you get closer to the solstices, what happens is you stop losing time, and time stays stationary for like 5 to 10 days, up to 10 days before and after. Between 5 and 10 days before and after each solstice, like time kind of stopped. Like it's 75 minutes and 45 minutes for like a week and a half. Before it balances itself out again, you start losing time. but that pattern repeats. Like I said, that pattern repeats every year. It's clockwork. It's celestial clockwork. Yeah, if you remember that book that was 2018. That was like literally like maybe a month after April left. Maybe less than a month in April left. We bought that book. No idea how to fucking read it. So it kind of just got stuffed in the back, right? So something told me, just keep on bringing that motherfucker along with us. And it was last year during Gemini season. So I think it was the second or third full lunar month that we were living by, that we were working with. That I don't know if he's fucking crazy or a fucking genius. Both. That I was working with the demon Agorist. So if you remember, I don't know if you remember, probably, there was the Book of Demons. There was a book that I got. I saw it on Facebook. I was like, fuck this, I gotta buy that. There was a book with all the goetic demons in there. And for a time, last year, I'd spend a day working with a demon, or at least a couple hours working with a demon, or at least like a fucking one session of writing working with a demon. Try to tap into that energy, try to tap into that personality type, try to tap into who they are, what they're all about. And I remember I was working with Agorist, and the picture, he looks like Gollum riding a crocodile. And I'm trying to write, I'm trying to focus on something, and my attention keeps coming back to this image. And finally, I'm like, fuck it. No, do you have something to tell me? Like, why do I keep on looking at you? Like, what is it that you want to tell me? And the message that came through to me was, go to your bookshelf and go get that Solomon book. Go get the Keys of Solomon because you're ready. What? Okay. Fuck it. I've been waiting for this book to fucking play some kind of role in my life for 5 years now. So let's see. So I opened it and the timetable. Well, I started reading the introduction, and I went, holy fuck, I can actually make sense of this. Holy shit, he wasn't fucking around. Right after the intros, there's a timetable that lays out relative time. But it lays out the map of planetary time. But it's not easy it's not like a 1, 2, 3 thing. It took me, how long have we been working with it? A year and 14 months? 14 months later, when my phone goes off and tells me what planet time it is, what planetary hour it is, I can usually tell you what time of day it is, or at least what hour of the day it is. So the first half of the day is 6 hours long. Second hour is 6 hours long. The 13th hour is always the first hour of the second half of the day. Some calendars, day starts at sunrise. Some calendars, day starts at sunset. So I'm just kind of incorporating a shit ton. As you'll see, as we get further into the journals, especially today, time's it. What's this? I know we got time. It's gonna be like 2, 3. Oh shit, it's 3 o'clock. So, as we work back, you'll see, especially at the beginning of every journal entry, where I put the day, the time, well, not that, but the date, what day it is. I use the Gregorian calendar, I use the Western zodiac calendar to keep track of the sun placement and the moon placement, but also sidereal as well. So there's the sidereal sun placement, the Western sun placement, the sidereal moon placement, the Western moon placement. Then there's the Hebrew calendar, there's the Islamic calendar, there's the Gregorian calendar. There is the day, the planet that goes with the day, the angel that goes with the planet, and also what day it is, as in what day. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. That's important because day 7 has to be the Sabbath. And I'm doing an experiment based on Solomon, which is Saturday is the first day of the week, making Friday the last day of the week, making Friday Sabbath, which is traditionally how Islam observed it. Although the Jewish perspective, the Orthodox Jewish perspective, is that Sabbath is Shabbos, which is Saturday is Shabbat. So I don't not observe Shabbat, Shabbat comes from the word Shabbatai. Shabbatai, which is the Hebrew name for Saturn, planet Saturn, which is the planet that is associated with Saturday, Saturn's Day. So it all works out. So it's not like there's no rhyme or reason to any of these things. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a place. Everything's nice and organized. So I've been learning how to organize things based on the celestial cycles. Thank you, Chef. And he breaks cycles as well. There's that. It's hot. It's really hot. I feel hot. I feel hot. Nice cold drink of water. Fuck. No, good. Alright, it's Sunday. Got 5 hours. About 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours for the rest of the day. Still have to do the review of the first quarter moon and the new moon. Those are 2 each. So let's say we spend an hour on each. Yeah, we should get done before the end of the day. Still gotta get another demon for today too. That's a whole other thing. But okay, so we're good. We pretty much have the whole day planned. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do this again. It's hot. So past Eric's, I think we're all caught up on things. I think we did really well. Shem, thank you very much. This is 2 hours and 6 minutes. All right, not bad. Come on, man, you're doing this shit outside. All right, thanks.